Brian, we were actually talking about this in the break, talking about Baby Yoda, talking about toys based on movies. How long do you feel like you will struggle due to the lack of new releases because of the pandemic?
You know, we've seen all year long that toys linked to Disney Plus content like The Mandalorian has been incredibly strong. Star Wars is up significant double digits for the year. The Mandalorian season 2 comes out at the end of the week. So now it's a combination of toys and merchandise linked to streamed content as well as movie merchandise. Our own Transformers over the summer, we launched War for Cybertron, which is an animated series on Netflix. It came in performance to the top of the Netflix charts and also drove significant engagement and sales for fans and families around the Transformers brand. So it's going to be a combination, and we do have a great lineup for 2021 that begins in the first quarter. We'll support 9 different initiatives, including 2 of our own next year, our first full-length CGI film for My Little Pony, and we have a G.I. Joe movie next year. It's the origin of Snake Eyes, and they'll both come in the second half of 2021. An array of Marvel movies that come next year, as well as another Spider-Man. So we believe people will get back into theaters, and they're desirous of that movie experience, and they're also watching a lot of stream content that benefits us from a merchandise standpoint and also from our studio standpoint with E1. Incredible engagement with Peppa Pig content and PJ Masks content, and we're beginning to produce those toys for 2021 as well.
Brian, you sound pretty positive, to be honest, about what is happening and what's going to happen in the future. What do you think the market got wrong yesterday? As Scarlett was saying, the price drop was pretty dramatic, and I'm scratching my head trying to figure out how I reconcile what you're saying and the price action that we saw yesterday.
Well, look, we talked about the fact that for a couple of quarters, our E1 acquisition that we made early this year was unable to produce live action content. And so that content is now starting to be produced again. We now have 25 productions back online, but E1 as a business for us was down nearly 30% in the third quarter. It's now coming back in the fourth quarter. We'll start to have productions, and as we deliver episodes, we'll be able to get paid for those episodes. Some of that revenue that's also based on committed content and series for networks will wrap into 2021. And we did say that we expect to be able to grow fourth quarter, despite the fact that we have comps against Frozen and Star Wars movie product a year ago. We're feeling very good about the holiday. We've said we'll have a good holiday. We'll grow in revenues and in EPS versus our pro forma 2019 as we combine E1 and Hasbro. And we think 2021 is quite good. So we're just focused on our business.
So something that was pointed out yesterday was in relation to Mattel, which reported last week that point of sale revenue for you guys just grew at the mid-single digits percentage rate. That underperformed Mattel. That was double-digit growth in that area. When does that catch up, or we need to look at different metrics, or what?
No, it's really double-digit growth in North America, double-digit growth in Asia Pacific, mid-single-digit growth in Europe. We're down a bit in Latin America, so it's just math. But if you look at the big regions that Hasbro operates in, you know, we're doing double-digit POS. We're doing 50% increases in e-com online, and our brands are performing quite well. Our games business year-to-date, POS is up nearly 40% in the U.S., nearly 30% globally, and about 70% online. So we're catching up on inventory because we've been short throughout the third quarter. So I would say that's just a comparison that has to do with the fact that in Latin America, there's been challenges. There's less access to e-commerce, and those businesses have been a bit challenged given the impact of COVID. But our team feels very confident that we will stabilize and grow that business as we move forward in 2021.
Brian, you talked about in the statement a good holiday season. You talked about it on the call. Can I just get your definition of what the word good is, and good relative to what?
Sure. Well, you know, it's good in that we're talking today. Our earnings were yesterday, and we have about 60 plus days left in the holiday. So we've got lots of visibility to our holiday and sales. Our sales in October, POS, was up 16% for toys and nearly 18% for games already, just for the first month of the holiday fourth quarter season in October. So we're feeling good about that. And we believe we can grow revenues and EPS versus what was a very good holiday for us last year. So that's why we say it's good. The reason it's good is that obviously we still working our way through and want to ensure the safety and health of our employees, people working on retail and out at retail. And so good is a good qualification for how we feel about the holiday season.
So as you're gearing up towards it, as you feel good, you mentioned retailer inventories were relatively lean. Where are they now? How's your supply chain looking?
Yeah, retail inventories at the end of the third quarter were down in the U.S. about 11%, up a bit in Europe because Europe has shown great growth, and down a bit in Latin America. And we're in a good position. You know, again, we're having now supply meet demand. So that's the key. As you grow more in e-commerce, you want more just-in-time inventory, less weak supply. So our supply chain team has done an amazing job ensuring that we have the product we need as we entered the fourth quarter. So again, no extra retail inventory, and our inventories were down about 7% year on year in the third quarter.
Brian, I'm looking behind you. I got a Nerf gun. I got a Baby Yoda. Talk me through what's going to be the big sellers this Christmas.
Yeah, well, listen, you're looking at certainly two of them. The launch for Nerf Ultra, our Elite 2.0, and our new Fortnite lineup has been phenomenal. Baby Yoda, I'm even surprised he's still here. We might have to take him out to retail. Baby Yoda, we have about 20 items related to the child and the Mandalorian, about 75 items in total around the Mandalorian as season 2 approaches. The performance of Star Wars, as I said, was up double digits, high double digits so far this year. So we feel good about those, but also Magic the Gathering, our game oriented to teens and adults, has performed incredibly well. Our digital gaming business and Arena has grown. And so we have a unique and differentiated position in gaming. And then our toys and games business has done well as well. Play-Doh is up in the third quarter, and that's a great brand for parents and for kids around creativity and developmental milestones. And of course, you can't forget an array of board games that have performed incredibly well throughout the year. And we think they'll do well for the holidays because we're bringing dozens of new games out in time for the holiday.